This video will walk you through how to assemble your brand new Aventure.2 e-bike. To unbox your bike, first, open the flaps near the top of the box, lift the lid, and remove the main accessory box. Set it aside for now. Remove the 4 white box clips at the bottom of the box by squeezing the levers and pulling them out. Then, lift the top cover of the box. Carefully remove the packaging materials, but don't throw them away. You might need them in the rare case of a return. The accessory box contains a charger and an assembly kit. Here are some of the components you'll find inside the box. To install the handlebar, remove the top cap, unscrew the stem cap using the hex key, and remove the temporary cardboard spacer found on the fork steer tube. Place the stem of the handlebar onto the steer tube. You may need to loosen the pinch bolts on the stem before installing it onto the steer tube. Screw the stem cap back on using the hex key. Take the e-bike out of the box. Be sure to ask for assistance lifting the bike. Take the front wheel and loosen the axle nuts, making sure that the washer remains between the axle nut and the dropout. Remove the plastic piece on the front fork dropouts and the brake pad spacer from the brake caliper so you can install the front wheel. Align the brake disc properly between the brake pads in the caliper, then insert the front axle into the fork dropouts. Hand tighten the axle nuts, then lower the kickstand so the bike will stand on its own. Then use the wrench to fully tighten both front axle nuts. To install the front fender, start by removing the hex bolt found at the top of the fork arch, then the bolts near the front fork dropouts. Set the front fender into place using a hex key to screw in the top bolt, but don't fully tighten it just yet. Take the fender stays and secure them to each side of the fork by screwing in the hex bolts to the threaded brackets. Make sure the fender stays are aligned towards the outside of the bike. Adjust the height of the fender so that there is enough clearance between the fender and the tire. Tighten the top bolt to finish. Tilt the headlight down so that you have access to the 4 faceplate bolts. Adjust the handlebar to your desired angle. Then tighten them in an X pattern to ensure that the faceplate is evenly secured. Straighten the handlebars so they align with the bike and the front wheel. Then, tighten both stem pinch bolts using the hex key. Adjust the display to the desired position and tighten the 2 bolts using a hex key. Repeat these steps for the front headlight. Adjust the headlight to the desired position and tighten the hex bolt. Remove the pedals from their packaging and be sure to match them to the correct side indicated by the labels both on the crank arm and on the pedal. Apply grease to the pedal threads and screw the pedal in the direction indicated by the label on the crank arm. Then tighten fully. Repeat this process on the other side. Be sure to note that the left pedal will tighten counterclockwise. Adjust the seat to the desired height, making sure not to pass the minimum insertion mark. Align the seat so that the nose is parallel to the frame for best comfort. You can adjust the tension on the clamp by tightening the nut on the side. The clamp should require firm pressure to close and properly secure the seat post. The rear rack is fastened in position but requires partial assembly to finish. Starting with the front stays, secure the front stay to the seat stay bridge with the provided bolt. Insert from one side, then secure the nut and washer to the other side of the bolt and tighten. Install the rear bracket by first unscrewing the bolts and removing the clamps. Then, place the bracket at the rear of the rack supports and resecure both clamps and bolts to hold the bracket in place. Finally, adjust the rack to your desired angle and tighten all the nuts and bolts. Flip open the battery charging port cover on the frame to charge the battery while it's attached to the bike. To charge, always plug the charging cable into the battery first, then into the wall outlet. The charging indicator light will first show green, then turn red while charging. When completely charged, the indicator light will turn solid green. Your keys are located on the handlebars. Be sure that the serial number found on your key matches the number on the key slot found on the down tube of the bike. To remove the battery from the bike, insert the key and turn clockwise. When reinserting the battery into the bike, insert the bottom section first, then securely latch the top. To turn on your bike, first turn on the battery with one quick press. Then press and hold the power button on the handlebar controls to turn on the display. Use the plus and minus buttons to cycle through pedal assist levels, ranging from off, eco, tour, sport, and turbo. Tap the right or left arrow buttons to activate your e-bike's right and left turn signals. Press and hold the plus button to turn on your headlight and taillights. Repeat the same step to turn the lights off. Pulling either brake lever will activate the brake lights. And that's it.